Dear users of Reddit, was I wrong to call out my friend's partner after they snatched a hors d'oeuvre from the buffet?
At my best friend's engagement party last weekend, her partner reached for smoked salmon right before me, right when everyone was watching. Last weekend, we were all celebrating my best friend's engagement at the hotel ballroom. Everyone was mingling around the hors d'oeuvre platters, including the catered smoked salmon that looked so tempting. My best friend kept eyeing the platter like she wanted something badly. When nobody noticed her sneaking a piece, she reached in quickly and grabbed it, right where I stood watching. She flashed me a fake smile as if nothing happened, but I felt uncomfortable seeing such blatant disregard for social norms. A few guests chuckled quietly, likely thinking what an awkward situation. Midway through the event, someone brought up how my best friend had been acting weirdly earlier, saying they caught her staring at the salmon. But she just laughed it off, insisting there was no big deal. By now, people started whispering behind our backs, wondering why I hadn't said anything then. They thought maybe I was being overly sensitive because it wasn't a huge issue. Yet every time anyone mentioned it again, I couldn't shake the feeling that my best friend's partner should have handled it differently. Eventually, during dinner, another guest asked me directly, "Why didn't you say something back then? You know, to save us all some tension." Their tone suggested I was making more trouble than necessary, but here is why I refused to stay quiet. The moment required a public correction to set boundaries clearly. If not addressed properly, small indiscretions can escalate into bigger issues down the line. And let's be clear, my problem isn't with my best friend. She seemed genuinely apologetic. The real issue lies in the fact that her partner chose to act disrespectful in front of others, expecting leniency even though it disrupted shared expectations. That's precisely why I called it out later. It needed acknowledgement. The next day, when I confronted her about it, she tried to minimize it by saying, "It's just one little thing." Her excuse made things worse, especially since everyone else saw it happen. I insisted, this isn't about one little thing, this is about setting boundaries and respecting each other publicly. As days passed, more guests commented on how uncomfortable the whole incident was. One person overheard me talking to my best friend and said, "You really need to address these kinds of issues sooner rather than later. It's not fair to everyone involved." This added pressure to keep the conversation going. Despite the mounting tension, my best friend's partner continued to make excuses, trying to brush it under the rug. She claimed, "Everyone makes mistakes and we're still engaged. Let's focus on the wedding." But focusing on the wedding only highlighted how much this affected everything. Every mention of the party or the smoked salmon sent a ripple of discomfort through the room. People whispered, and the air grew thick with unspoken judgments. I knew I had to speak up eventually, so I decided to do it before the wedding preparations got too intense. During a casual family gathering, I gently but firmly brought up the topic. My best friend's mother looked taken aback, asking, "What happened last weekend?" I explained calmly, "There were some misunderstandings around the smoked salmon at your daughter's engagement party. We need to talk about it openly now." My best friend's father interjected, "Didn't you see how that was handled? Everyone was fine with it." I replied, "But they might have been fine because no one spoke up. Now it needs addressing for everyone's comfort." His expression softened slightly as he nodded. Over time, my best friend started to see the importance of our discussion. However, her partner remained defensive, insisting there was nothing wrong with what happened. Eventually, after several heated discussions, my best friend realized that ignoring such behavior could indeed lead to bigger problems down the road. Our relationship became strained, but ultimately acknowledging the mistake helped us move forward together. Would you have stayed quiet or would you have pushed back too?